Hold up. Wait a second. I thought it was illegal to refuse cash as a business, but maybe not. And if that's the case, then what's with all the potential second wave warnings of potential bank runs? As Barclays warns, the second wave of a depositor outflow from U.S. banks, the sleepy depositors. Barclays says that the first wave of the run was related to solvency fears that wave may be almost over, but, and I quote, we think the first wave of outflows may be nearly over, but the recent tumult regarding deposit safety may have awakened sleepy depositors and started what we believe will be a second wave of deposit departures with balances moving into money market funds. Okay, makes sense because pull your money out of the bank to have wads of cash in your pocket may not necessarily work out for you in the long run. As we can see here from this comment left by a YouTube viewer stating, I work for public storage in Texas, and they are huge internationally, actually. And this week in our district, they notified us beginning the 1st of April, we will no longer accept cash. By the way, they are based out of California. Now, this is actually interesting because somebody left a comment on a video of mine previously, stating that I believe it was Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone, one of those auto stores, was instructed no longer to take cash. Why? Because their bank was no longer going to accept cash. And I don't know if they look to switch their banks or get a new bank or if they just instill a policy of no cash. But it's a thing. But can businesses really refuse cash? Think about it. And if so, what do we do about it? Well, we're going to discuss that in this video, as well as, folks, please remember, I'm not trying to contact you in the comment section down below. So if you get somebody with a avatar that looks like mine asking you to text them on WhatsApp or something like that, it's not me. So just ignore that. But we see here that, they're stating that a second wave of deposit outflows may hit banks. And actually, this is a really good point here because I made a short. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was, I don't worry about the banks because the banks don't have all my money. And somebody actually commented on that short and they were like, well, it will mean nothing when the money you have has no value. And I guess let me just further clarify. I don't worry about the banks because the banks don't have all my money because my money is being used in other ways in forms of diversity, security, and cash flow by way of cash flow producing assets. As I've mentioned before, that way, whatever happens to our currency, whatever medium of exchange or digital dollar or token or coin we end up using through CBDC or FedNow or ISO 20022, I'll still have my assets and then they'll just be reassessed based on these new figures. But the real question is, can you do this? And or why are some people doing this? Why are some stores not accepting cash? Is it legal? Is it legal and what should we do? Well, let's first go the legal route, federalreserve.gov. Is it illegal for a business in the United States to refuse cash as a form of payment? Well, there is no federal statute mandating that a private business, a person, or an organization must accept currency or coins as payment for goods or services. Private businesses are free to develop their own policies on whether to accept cash unless there is a state law that says otherwise. So, Section 31 USC 5103, entitled Legal Tender, states United States coins and currency, including Federal Reserve notes and circulating notes of Federal Reserve notes, and national banks are legal tender for all debts, public charges, taxes, and dues. This statute means that all U.S. money, as identified above, is a valid and legal offer of payment for debts when tendered to a creditor. Now, I want you guys to pay close attention to this website on federalreserve.gov because there will come a point in time where this statute will be revised and probably include the wording of a central bank digital currency or CBDC or Fed coin or digital dollar or Biden coin or something like that. So if we see this code change, the statute change to include that, well, then guess what, folks? It's here. But why some stores refuse cash and what we can do about it, folks. Let's look at these basic reasons behind why. Fewer germs, reduced risk of robbery, no counterfeit bills, less employee theft, faster service, simpler equipment, less expensive, fewer banking hassles. But there are problems, and there are problems with cashless stores. And one of those main problems is, what if the grid goes down? What if the payment processing portal, POS, fails? What if there's a glitch with the connection, the internet connection? But at the same time, I mean, we're seeing this happen, especially with companies moving forward with businesses that can operate without actual people. If they can do that without people and without cash, it just further simplifies the process of automation and the introduction of AI into the workforce even further. But what you can do, if you want, you can complain. You can complain to the store. You can seek out banking alternatives. You can try to change state laws. All of these are, definitely possible options. But at the end of the day, we got to realize that based on what we see here, there is no federal statute mandating that a private business, a person, or an organization must accept currency or coins as payment for goods or services. Private businesses are free to develop their own policies on whether to accept cash unless there's a state law that says otherwise. And as I'm mentioning this also has a lot to do with the future of cash, as we do see this central bank digital currency, CBDC, continuously moving forward and rolling out. It's going to pretty much wipe out side gigs, side hustles, some of these garage sales, yard sales, cutting grass, anything, babysitting that you would get paid cash for. You could still do it. By all means, you could still do it. But it's going to possibly lose some of its appeal because the government's going to have direct access to seeing what you're doing, who's paying you, how much you're making, and more importantly, how much they're going to tax you on that money. Remember, tracing, tracking, taxing, these are all parts of the benefits and features of CBDC that they think is such a great idea. Additionally, will this potentially see an end to credit cards? And you're thinking, well, how could that be possible? Well, I mean, we got Google Pay, we got Apple Pay, we got Tap to Pay and all these things. Odds are credit cards probably won't go away, but could we see credit card companies go away in the introduction of a central bank digital credit, central bank digital credit card, central bank digital line of credit? That way it's all in-house and they can further reduce the possible risks of banking failures and contagion and systemic risk and collapse and liquidity crises, and avoid these second wave of deposit outflows from U.S. banks, according to warnings from Barclays. I mean, folks, honestly, anything is possible. Shoot, you can get 5% back on a return from Forex. That's possible. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But moving forward, again, folks, remember what I told you. I'm not trying to contact you down in the comment section below. But more importantly, if you want to reach me, my info is in the description, along with 100% free links on diversity, security, and cash flow. But additionally, we have to make sure that we are diverse, we are secure, and we are producing cash flow. And not necessarily telling you guys to run out and take all your money out of the bank. That's not what I'm trying to tell you to do. Please don't misinterpret what I'm trying to say. But how is your money? Let's think about this. Comment down below and let me know, how is your money going to serve you best? How is it going to be most effective moving forward, giving all of what we know now and what we potentially see likely coming in the future? In a response to a comment, I don't have it in front of me, but somebody said, well, Kevin, should I cash in all the coins I have? Well, the question is, well, what were you going to do with the coins? Were you just going to hold on to them? Perhaps maybe, if it were me and I had a large collection of coins, I would definitely want to make sure that I'm getting the most value out of them, but also trying to maybe condense and consolidate. But, Are they making me money sitting somewhere in a glass jar somewhere, or in a, giant empty water jug from a water cooler from the office? If not, I want to take that money. I want to take those coins. I want to take whatever it is, and I want to put it somewhere that's going to bring me back more. I want to put it somewhere that's going to protect it. I want to put it somewhere that's going to allow me the ability to see passive income streams as a result of it, while also adding that diversity, that security, and most importantly, that cash flow. I hope you guys are taking this information and it's helpful and useful to you. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on alerts and notifications. I'll see you guys real soon. Take care. Bye.